And welcome to IPD's webinar. This is our first in the series, and we hope you'll enjoy it and learn from it. And of course, we'll invite your feedback on it as well. But thank you for joining us today. My name is Lecky, Paul Lecky, and I will be your presenter. Today, we're going to look at superior customer service, secret of providing superior customer service. And the few things we want to look at in this next 45 minutes is communication, creating a positive impression, how to develop and maintain customer service standards, deal with customer complaints, and how we respond to social media, which you know is taking over everything today. So communicating effectively with our customers. I want to invite you to think back on what do you understand of good or bad customer service. That's where it all begins. It begins in our minds, doesn't it? Superior customer service is taking the extra step. Go beyond the expectation of the customer. Do for them what they need to be done or they need to be done unto, even before they ask. It is therefore all about perception, attitude, and skills. Remember that one's perception becomes one's reality. And I just share with you a recent survey, and I cannot remember if it's Harvard Business Review or it was a Gallup poll. However, they interviewed 352 companies, senior managers across different industries, and asked them what kind of service they're providing. 80% said they were providing superior service. They interviewed customers of these same companies and asked what kind of service they're receiving. 8% said they were getting superior service. Now, you realize what is happening here. The company perceives they're giving one thing. The customer perceives something completely different. Hence, we have to be mindful that our attitude and skills and our perceptions are extremely important. So, your attitude checklist. I want you to reflect on this. What attitude assists in providing superior service? 1, PMA, a positive mental attitude. If you're not positive, people will not galvanize towards it. So we need to first have a positive mental attitude. And in order to do this, we must have a PBS, a positive belief system. We must firmly believe in our products, our services, and our company. And of course, we must believe in ourselves. If you cannot believe that, then of course we're not going to be positive. And we're not going to give the kind of service we should be giving. We must be able to enjoy people, helping people. You know, if you don't enjoy dealing with people, then probably you need to take a back office job. Because you need people with the right attitude and aptitude to do this. You must have a ready-to-help image. It doesn't matter what kind of day you think you're having. When the customer comes in, calling in, you must have a ready-to-help attitude. Your attitude must be one that reflects, hey, I'm willing to help you. I'm happy to see you. Care for your customers. You cannot offer superior service if you're not a caring person. Give fair and equal treatment to all. It does not matter what somebody looks like. It does not. As a matter of fact, some people that you think have money to purchase your goods are not the ones who have it, are the ones who look like they don't have it. So the judging is not up to us. It's fair treatment for everybody across the board. Be understanding of people with special needs. Colleagues, in today's world, we have people, all manner of different needs, and we need to make sure that we honor these people, that we reach out to these people, their physical needs, their language needs. I mean, there are just so many different needs that we have, and we need to be conscious of it. Skills for superior customer service. Know about your department and your company. One of the worst things can happen when somebody comes into your company and asks a question and you don't know. The worst thing you can ever tell a customer, I don't know. If you don't know, you must know who can help and direct them to that person. But not using words, I don't know. Not using words like, it's not my job. Those are no-nos. So know your company, know who is responsible for what, know who are the experts in what areas. Product knowledge. You have to have knowledge of your product. Customer walks in, let's say for example, I'm buying engine oil. And I ask for a particular oil, and you don't have that. But you have other oils that can do the job just as well, or probably even better. However, if you do not have the product knowledge, you'll just simply say, sorry, we don't have it. So I encourage you, know your product. You might say, well, okay, we have 5,000 products. How do I know them all? Well, you know what? You already know a lot of them. If every day in your downtime you learn 3 or 4 new products, you'll be amazed how quickly you know all your products. Understand how to communicate effectively. If you cannot communicate, you'll lose your customers. And we'll come back to that in a moment. Be consistent. Your customers must be able to judge you. When they walk in, they should be able to know that they're going to meet people who are consistently positive, people who are consistently willing to help. If you're not that kind of person, then you shouldn't be doing face-to-face. Be organized. And organize also means that you manage your time well. If you promise a customer something, you write it down to ensure that you do not forget. You need to be a team player. You have to recognize, one, that if you do not play the part well, do not know how you fit into the team, do not know how your action affect your colleagues in the company, in your department, then you know what, that company is not going to provide superior service. The internal customer is as important as the external customer. Know your place in the team. Know how you fit in. Know how your job contributes to the overall good of your organization. So first and foremost, provide superior service to your internal customers. And the internal customers are yourselves. Your accounts department, your HR department, the people who sweep the yard, the office help, every single person. And remember, there's no job in the organization more important than the other. We just have different levels of responsibilities and we have different functions. Every single one is important, therefore we must treat our internal customer extremely well. If we cannot do that, we will not treat the external customer well. So firstly is being a team player, understanding your position on the team and work well with your internal customers. There are 4 things that the customer wants. And if we can understand this and deliver this, we are well on our way to creating that atmosphere of superior service. 1, the customer needs to feel welcome. And it's either whether they call in on the telephone or they walk in. Your job is to make them feel welcome. We know that a culture in an organization is a living thing. And if it's not one of a welcoming feel when you drive in or you walk in, you can feel it even without looking at somebody's face. So the first thing is that your customers feel welcome. Next thing the customer wants is to feel comfortable. And comfortable here means that you're easy to talk to. They're comfortable in talking to you. You're not going to use all kind of jargon and big words that they don't understand to show them how knowledgeable you are. That is not. They want to know that when they speak to you, you can anticipate their needs and deliver on that. They want to feel understood. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. In other words, you do not try to get them to understand you. You must try to understand them first. Once you understand them, you know how to deliver the service they want. So it is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Fourth, they want to feel important. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine that every time you're in contact with a customer, they have a placard on their forehead that say, the only reason God put you on this earth is to let me feel important. And let them feel important. You know why? Because they are. Without the customer, you could have the best product in the world. Without the customer, you do not have a business. You do not have a business, you do not have a job. Customers, my friends, are not an interruption to your work. They are the reason for your work. They are the reason why you have a job. The customers are the ones who pay us. They are the real boss. We need to ensure that we give them that superior service. We use empathy. We empathize with our customer. Customer comes in and they're upset. Put yourself in the position of the customer to understand why they might be upset. Effective communication skills. Effective communication skills really embodies these four things: the vocal, the body language, the tone of voice, what you see or feel. And let us examine these a little bit closer. The communication equation then is what you hear, tone of voice, vocal clarity, vocal expressiveness, 40%. What you see or feel is the nonverbal, the facial expression, the way we dress or we groom ourselves, body posture, body language, eye contact, touch, gestures. And some of us have very animated face, you'll agree. And whatever you feel on the inside quickly reflects in the facial expression. Our grooming. Are we dressed appropriately for the job? Do we look presentable for the job? What about our body posture? How do we walk? How do we move? What message are we sending? Or eye contact. And you know that in our neck of the woods, if we cannot eyeball somebody, we send wrong message or mixed messages. You could either be construed as being unknowledgeable, as being timid, as being shifty. There are so many messages that you could send. Touch and gestures. How we do we use our hands? And of course, please, while we're in touch, remember, when the customer comes in, don't be too touchy. Not everybody wants to be touched. But what we see or feel is 50%. In other words, the nonverbal, the body language is sending 50% of the message. Now here's the clinching. The vocal is only 10% that your customer is hearing. There is 10% of what you're saying. What they're listening for then, what they're reading is the nonverbal, 50%, the tone of your voice. So we make sure that we're sending the right message. Now, the non-verbal, our appearance, our grooming. People make judgments of others based on the clothes we wear, how we wear that clothes, our hair, the color of our hair, the length of our hair, the way we move, the way we walk. And you know, some of us walk like living dead. Now, a customer is not going to be feeling very happy if they walk into your business place and you're moving like, well, why you come here to bother us today? I mean, already I'm here, I have to be here 9 hours a day. You really want me to work as well? You cannot give that kind of message. How we wear our clothes is important. And you might say it's a free world. Why bother? Well, you know, with freedom comes responsibility. And when your boss comes in, the customer that is, he's bringing you a salary. You better make sure that you're presentable. Proper hygiene is also an important factor when it comes to non-verbal cues. Oral hygiene is also very important. So we need to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that we are sending the right message by our appearance, the way we groom. Remember, we listen more with our eyes than we listen with our ears. The voice cues, the tone of our voice, that make a big difference as well. How you say things is as important as what you say. So be mindful of that, your vocal variety and vitality. Do you come across as being enthusiastic about your product? Or do you sound like, well, okay, since you asked, then I have an obligation to answer? So be mindful of the tone of voice. Additional cues. Time. How we use time. Chronic lateness is a disease. Chronic lateness kills you, it kills your organization, it kills your customer. I know some people will tell me, you know, well, I'm in customer service, the shop open at 8 o'clock in the morning, I get there at 8:30. No big deal because I work until 6 and I work until 7. Well, you know what? If you open your doors at 8, close at 5, that's when the customers are expected to come. The customer don't care how long you stay after work. What they care about is when they walk in, somebody is there to attend to their needs. So time, how we use time is extremely, extremely important. The good news about this disease is that we can correct it, and we can correct it starting now. People do not see you as professional if you do not observe time. So it's extremely, extremely important that we pay attention to time, how we use time. Habits like chewing gum while talking to the customer, definitely a no-no. I don't know if you ever stop and look in the mirror if you're one who chew gum. Look in the mirror and see what the customer is seeing when you're speaking to them. Please. Take the gum out if you're dealing with a customer. If you're on the telephone, take it out as well. The telephone amplifies what's in your mouth. Follow up. Doing what we say we will do. Now, sometimes we tell the customer we'll do something, you know, we have no intention of doing it. It's really just to get them off our box. We cannot afford to do that if we intend to offer superior service. Whatever we promise, we must deliver. If you cannot deliver, do not promise. The key thing is to under-promise, over-deliver. Follow through. Pay attention to the customers with special needs. I mentioned that earlier on. People for whom English is not their first language. And if it's your first language, then be mindful that they might not be hearing the same things you're telling them. The words mean different things to different people. Sorry. People who are physically challenged, we must be mindful of that. They're not physically challenged by choice. Therefore, we must empathize with these customers and do everything we can to make sure that when they come in, they're welcome, they're comfortable, they're understood, and they're treated as important people. People from other areas who may not be familiar with the way you do things around here. We need to be mindful of that as well. Somebody comes from a different district. They are not familiar with your business. Do not expect them to know what to do. We need to be mindful and make sure that these people feel welcome. Now, let us have a look at how we deal with the difficult behavior. I think this is one where a lot of us have problems. Now, just to say, some of our people, 10% of our complainers are what we call chronic complainers. And these are people that will complain no matter what. They complain at length, they know your job more than you do, and they'll even be telling you how you should be doing your job. So these people, what we have to do with them, the moment they walk in, we greet them like they're the best thing since sliced bread. Do not look at them and say, here come that miserable son of a woman, I'm going to hide him, because then you'll be sending off the wrong signal, the wrong messages. See it as your duty to have that person walk out smiling. So the key thing here in dealing with the difficult customers, firstly, apologize. Own the problem and thank your customer for bringing it to your attention. So a customer walk in, you're upset about something, so I'm very sorry you're having that experience, sir. Would you explain to me what happened? Let me see how I can fix it. That's owning the problem. Then you thank them. You can give them a solution, thank them for bringing it to your attention. I thank you for bringing that to my attention, madam. It is customers like you that help us to provide better service. Thank you so much. So you apologize, you own, and you thank. Do it sincerely. Remember, whatever you do, do not blame your company, do not blame your colleagues. Customer come in and somebody messed up big time. Do not say, oh, is that John? He messed up again. No. Your job is to own that problem. Customer need not know who is responsible for it. What he needs to know is how you're going to fix it. So apologize, own, and thank. You'll be amazed the difference that makes when you do that. Do not get defensive. Do not take things personally. It's never about you. Never will be about you. It's about the customer want to get a fair deal for their money. Do not take it personally. Customer comes in and he's upset. It's not about you. He'll be upset with anybody he meets. Find out what the customer wants. And the only way to do that is simply ask, how would you like this to be resolved? Take responsibility for what you can do. Remember, do not promise things you cannot deliver. Do not tell a customer you'll do something you cannot do. Take responsibility for what you can do. In order to ensure that we deliver superior service, we need to focus on the customer. Greet your customer warmly and with a smile. And you know, my friends, if you're one of those persons who don't like to smile, well, just smile anyway. Just do it until you feel like it. Before you know it, it will become a habit and you don't even have to think about it. We're told that it takes some 74 muscles to frown, only 14 muscles to smile. So if you want to age quickly, frown a lot. If you want to look young forever and be happy and be pleasing and galvanize people around you, smile a lot. It make you look young, it make you feel healthy, and it certainly is good for customer service. Give the customer your immediate and undivided attention. The customer comes in, whatever you're doing can wait. Your paperwork can wait. Your stock checking can wait. Your argument with your colleague can wait. That text message can wait. Give the customer your undivided attention. Use the customer name or appropriate form of address as soon as you can. Maintain eye contact. Practice good listening skill. And we know that effective listening is an art. It's not something that comes naturally. So we must practice to listen and listen effectively. Do not plan a response while you are listening to the customer. Listen all the way through. Do not cut off the customer. Listen all the way through and listen 100% in mind and body. Don't plan a response while you're listening. Anticipate the customer's need. And there are times customers come in when they do not know to explain themselves. You must be able to understand what is it that they want. Anticipate that need and help them. So they find that you're easy to talk to. They will want to come back because you understand them. So again, if you understand your product, you have right product knowledge, you have the right mental attitude. Even if the customer comes in, do not know what they want. By listening to them, you're in a position to anticipate their needs and deliver and fulfill on those needs. Remember, there are two things the customer buys, and two things only. They're buying solution to their problem, and they're buying good feeling. So we want to ensure that whatever we do, we're delivering on those two things. Solution to problem and good feeling. Steps to resolve difficult complaint. Stay calm. Use the 3 C's of psychology. Cool, calm, and collective. Always be mindful that it's not about you. Do not get defensive. If you have a positive mental attitude, a positive belief system, your mind will always be in solution mode. In order to offer superior service, we must always be in solution mode. So stay calm, maintain your composure, try to shine and build goodwill. And if you want to shine on the outside, you have to polish the inside. You do not change outside in, you change inside out. Whatever is happening on the inside, that's what will be reflected on the outside. Apologize, own, and thank. Remember, whatever you do, customer comes in, first thing you do is apologize. Own the problem. Do not blame others. Do not blame your product. Do not blame your company. Own the problem. Tell the customer what you will do and thank them for bringing it to your attention. Be sincere in expressing regrets that the customer has a complaint. It's not, I'm sorry. Because that is not telling the customer you're sorry. But express it sincerely. I'm very sorry, sir. I'm sorry, madam, that you feel this way. I'm sorry you're having this experience. I'm sorry this product did not work for you. No Remember the communication, vocal, 40%, how we say things. So whatever we express must be done sincerely, and the customer can pick it up. Tell your complainants you're sorry that they feel the way they do. Always thank the customer for bringing the problem to your attention. Somebody comes to your establishment and they're upset, they're mad, and you thank them for bringing it to your attention. You just knock their socks off. Then somebody come in and they're upset. They do not expect you to thank them for being upset. However, if we want to retain our customers, we want to have them coming back, then we need to thank them. We need to listen to them. The statistics have shown that 96% of the customers who have a problem do not complain. 91% of those who do not complain will not come back if they have a choice. So you'll be losing customers and you don't know why. But you lose your customer, you lose your business, you lose your job. Yeah. I want to take a little look at social media now, because you know that social media is taking over the way we do business. The way we do business 2 years ago has completely changed. And we're not going to get away from social media. Things are happening on social media, and you're not going to hear it through the traditional channels. So you need to be cognizant of this fact. With social media firmly established as the most popular web activity amongst mainstream users, customers now make their purchasing decision in a dramatically different way to how they did in the last few years. So your customers now share social media. They give advice, they review, they complain, and they compliment your business. So you build your customers one at a time. You can lose them 1,000 at a time. Just by somebody going on social media and posting something that is unfavorable to your business, to your service, to your product. So we must be mindful of this. It also means that we now have to give better service. We have to step it up a few notches. We have to be constantly improving the service and be mindful of what's happening on social media. Social media is a great tool to reach your customer, great tool to solve problems. It's also a tool that can destroy you. So across the web and social media sites, we all can see what's happening in today's world. Best practices for preparing your business to develop a robust online customer service via social media. Let us examine a few things. Monitor your customer comments on social media. Going the extra mile will definitely pay off, as people will start noticing your responsiveness, and this will impact customers' retention and, of course, your bottom line. So whether you like social media or not, if you're in business, you need to be monitoring that. A professional, efficient customer service team has the potential to turn complainers into loyal customers. Now, that again is only going to happen if you're paying attention to social media. We cannot hide it. And I know I can hear one or two people saying, well, yes, but we do things the traditional way. Well, we do things the traditional way and keep it that way. We're not going to be in business for very long. Not in the 21st century. Not in 2015. So you have an angry customer walks in, or an angry customer on social media. How do you deal with it? One, strongly suggest you empathize, which is different from sympathize. Put yourself in the customer's shoe. Walk a mile in the customer's shoe. Understand why they respond the way they do. Empathy is one of the most critical customer service skills you can develop. You can use phrases like, I'd be upset too. I can understand why you'd be frustrated. You probably have a good reason to be upset. When the customer know that you're on their side because you empathize, they will invariably calm down. So this is your first step. Next step is to apologize. I'm sorry you're having this experience. I'm sorry that the goods didn't measure up to your expectation. However, you must be sincere. The customer will know when you're not. In customer service, we must have integrity. In one study at the Carey School of Business in Arizona, 37% of customers were satisfied with sincere recovery when they were offered something of monetary value. For example, refund or credit. When the business had an apology, a sincere apology on top of the compensation, the satisfaction level jumped to 74%. Isn't that amazing? A sincere apology has significant impact. Pay attention to the millennials. And we're talking about those people who were born between 1984 and 2000. They are the ones on social media right now. According to Harris Interactive poll conducted earlier this year, 68% of them were at least somewhat likely to purchase after seeing a friend's post about a product or service. Tremendous influence. The role of social media in customer service will increase significantly in 2015, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot hide it. Your customers have latitude to say what they want about your product and your service. They can influence the success or the failure of your business. This is where social listening comes in. You need to track what's being said about your brand on social media and respond to customer questions and issues in a timely manner. You cannot avoid it. If you avoid the social media today, you're doing it at your own peril. It's a crucial part of customer service. Now, are you ready for the next step? Continue to develop your career and register for our publicly scheduled courses for 2015. And we have our first quarter schedule set out. We invite you to have a look at it. We also, of course, customize our programs to suit different organization needs. We come into your organization, we look at your needs, we assess your needs, and we develop programs specifically for those needs. In other words, at IPD, what we're trying to do is to satisfy everyone. Our aim is to inspire, empower, and motivate. Hence, by doing that, we're hoping that somehow we'll be playing our part to help to make this jewel shine, to build better professionals, to ensure that we reach our true potential, and that we have no shortage of. So if you have questions, you can certainly email us, or you can call our office, and just invite you to have a look over our training calendar. So at this time, we want to thank you for attending this webinar. Again, we welcome your comments. We look forward to your feedback. This is the first of many to come. Give us your feedback. Give us your suggestion. Tell us what you'd want to know more about. And we certainly will see how we can meet those needs. So we invite you to contact us. You can write to us at PO Box 1172, Belize City. We're on Princess Margaret Drive. Or you can telephone us, and our numbers are there. You can visit us at www.ipdbelize.com, or you can send us your mail at info@ipdbelize.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for the time, and we certainly hope that you had found this to be interesting, to be educating, and certainly to be of worth. That you have picked up one or two things that can help you to provide that superior service. If we have been able to do that, we would have achieved our objective. And we certainly thank you for visiting with us. We thank you for affording us the opportunity to share with you, and we look forward to hearing from you. Take this opportunity also to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a most prosperous and productive 2015.